Imagine a simple penny sitting in your drawer right now, worth not 1 cent, not $1, but up to $3 million. Yes, you heard that right. One ordinary-looking 1952 Lincoln penny could be the key to transforming your financial life overnight. Are you unknowingly sitting on a small fortune? Well, by the end of this video, you'll know exactly how to spot this rare gem and avoid missing out on what could be the opportunity of a lifetime. Let me take you back to 1952, a time of bustling diners, booming industry, and classic cars cruising the streets. The U.S. Mint in San Francisco was busy striking Lincoln pennies, little knowing that some of these coins would become legends in the world of rare collectibles. But here's the twist, not all 1952 pennies are valuable. In fact, 99.9% of them are worth just their face value, or a little more to collectors, but it's the other 0.1%, the error coins, the ultra-rare mintages, that can fetch life-changing sums. So, how do you tell the difference? Stay with me, because the answer could very well change your life. Quick question, how often do you check your coins before tossing them into a jar or handing them to a cashier? Be honest. If your answer is never, you're not alone. But after today, you might start looking at your pennies like they're gold nuggets in disguise. Here's what you need to know. The 1952 Lincoln penny is valuable for two reasons. First, its low mintage at the San Francisco Mint makes it naturally scarce. But the real jackpot lies in rare mint errors. One example is the double die obverse, a minting mistake that causes letters and numbers, like the year or Liberty, to appear doubled. Imagine finding one of these pennies in your possession. A well-preserved double-die 1952 penny could easily sell for thousands, or even hundreds of thousands, at auction, but we're not stopping there. The holy grail of 1952 pennies includes the rare off-metal error coins. Due to a mistake at the mint, these pennies were struck on the wrong metal planchets, like silver or steel. These are the ones that can command the jaw-dropping prices, up to $3 million. Now, here's the thing. Even the smallest scratch or blemish can drastically affect a coin's value. That's why condition is critical. Coins graded as MS-65 or higher are the ones collectors fight over, driving prices through the roof. But here's the million-dollar question, how do you know if your penny is one of these rarities? Don't worry, we're getting to that. But first, let's talk about how to avoid being scammed in this booming market. Because let's face it, the only thing worse than finding out you don't have $1 million penny is finding out you've been duped into thinking you do. Am I right? To identify if your 1952 penny is worth a fortune, here's what to do: check the mint mark, look for the small s under the date. If there's no mint mark, it's from Philadelphia and not part of this rare batch. Inspect for errors. Use a magnifying glass to examine the letters, numbers, and rim for doubling, off-center strikes, or unusual colors. Get it graded, don't rely on guesswork. Send your penny to a reputable coin grading service like PCGS or NGC to get an official valuation. And here's where the urgency comes in, the market for rare coins is hotter than ever, with collectors and investors willing to pay top dollar. Waiting too long could mean missing out on a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. Still think a penny is just a penny? Look again, because that little coin in your pocket might just hold the key to a wealthy lifestyle. Could you be the next millionaire thanks to a 1952 Lincoln penny? Start searching your stash now, and let me know in the comments if you find one. Because who knows, your story might just be the one we feature in our next video. Are you holding a fortune in your pocket right now without even knowing it? Imagine a single penny transforming your life, paying off debts, or even buying your dream home. Sounds impossible, right? Well, buckle up, because the story of the 1964 Lincoln penny might just blow your mind, and your bank account. This unassuming coin, barely worth a cent, has fetched up to $2.7 million. Yes, you heard that right. But only if you know exactly what to look for. Could yours be the golden ticket? Don't blink, because by the end of this video, you'll know the exact signs to check for. And trust me, missing this could be a costly mistake. Oh, and before you start tearing through your couch cushions, don't worry, we'll get there. Just don't blame me if your sofa looks like a crime scene afterward. But first, let's rewind and understand why a 1964 D Lincoln penny is no ordinary coin. Because history has a funny way of turning the mundane into the magnificent. Back in 1964, the U.S. Mint was on a mission. They needed to produce billions of coins to meet the growing demand of a booming economy. Denver Mint, responsible for those little D mint marks, was working overtime. But here's the twist, not every coin was created equal. Some pennies from that year were struck with errors, tiny imperfections that most people overlooked. These mistakes weren't just flaws, they became treasures for collectors. Think of them as unintentional masterpieces. In the world of coin collecting, rare equals valuable. But why this penny? Why would anyone shell out millions for it? Let's dive deeper, and I'll reveal the exact reason. To understand the astronomical value of the 1964 D penny, we need to talk about mint errors and their significance. And trust me, this could mean the difference between a penny in your jar and a mansion on your nameplate. Here's what you need to look for: the 1964 D Lincoln penny with a double die error. What's that? It's when the coin was struck twice, causing certain details to appear doubled. Look closely at the date, the word liberty, or in God we trust. Spotting this could mean life-changing money. Can you imagine explaining to your bank that your life savings started with a penny? Yes, I'd like to deposit this 1-cent check for $2.7 million, please. Now, here's where it gets urgent. The value of rare coins like this is skyrocketing as collectors scramble to secure them. The longer you wait, the more competition you'll face. And let's not forget, time can erode the quality of these coins. But what if you find one? How do you ensure you're not getting scammed? And what's the first step to turning that penny into a fortune? Stick around, because I'm about to reveal the answers. Imagine discovering one of these pennies in your collection. It's not just about the money, it's about unlocking a piece of history, a piece of your future. Every day you delay, you might be sitting on a jackpot without even realizing it. Here's what to do next: check your old jars, wallets, and piggy banks. Look closely for that 1964 D penny with double details. And when you find it, consult a trusted numismatist to verify its authenticity. Your dream lifestyle could be one penny away. Now, here's the real question: are you going to check your pennies tonight? Or risk letting a life-changing fortune slip through your fingers? What if I told you it could be worth up to $2.5 million? Yes, one single 1970 D Lincoln penny could change your entire life. Think about it. What if you've had this coin lying around all these years, hidden in plain sight? Now, before you start rummaging through your coin jar, let me ask you something. What would you do if you suddenly had millions in your bank account? Pay off your mortgage? Travel the world? Or maybe, retire early and finally live the life you've always dreamed of? But here's the catch: most people overlook this incredible opportunity, and they let priceless treasures slip through their fingers. Don't let that be you. Stick with me, because in the next 10 minutes, you'll learn exactly how to identify if your 1970 D penny is worth a small fortune, or if it's just, well, a penny. And here's a hint: the key lies in a tiny mistake that most people wouldn't even notice. Intrigued? Let's dive in. So, why is the 1970 D Lincoln penny such a big deal? It all comes down to a minting error, also known as a double die obverse. For those unfamiliar, that's when the coin's design is accidentally struck twice, creating a subtle yet significant doubling effect on the text or design. Now, here's where it gets exciting. A perfectly preserved 1970 D penny with this rare error recently sold for $2.5 million at auction. Yes, you heard that right, $2.5 million. Let that sink in for a moment, and if you're thinking, this can't be real. Why would anyone pay that much for a penny? Remember this: coin collectors are willing to shell out huge sums for these rarities because they're pieces of history, mistakes that weren't supposed to exist. But here's the scary part: 99% of people either don't know what to look for or they unknowingly sell these pennies for just a few cents. Imagine unknowingly handing over $1 million coin to your local bank or vending machine. Terrifying, isn't it? Speaking of terrifying, let me break up the tension with a quick question: when was the last time you checked your couch cushions? Because if you're like most of us, they're a black hole for coins, and maybe even a fortune. But how do you actually spot this $1 million error on the 1970 D penny? I'm about to reveal the step-by-step process, so don't go anywhere. Miss this, and you might miss out on a fortune. Alright, here's how you identify a potential jackpot. Grab your 1970 D pennies and a magnifying glass or even your phone's zoom camera. Carefully inspect the year, 1970, on the obverse side. Look for any signs of doubling on the numbers or letters, especially the word liberty or in God we trust. The doubling might be subtle, but it's unmistakable when you know what to look for. Now, condition matters, too. Coins graded as mint state or in pristine condition fetch the highest prices. But even if your coin isn't perfect, it could still be worth thousands. Not bad for a penny, right? If you think you found a double die error, resist the urge to clean the coin. Cleaning it could significantly decrease its value. Instead, have it professionally appraised by a trusted coin dealer or send it to a grading service like PCGS or NGC. When was the last time a penny made you feel this excited? I bet it wasn't the one you used to pay for your coffee this morning. But wait, did you know there's another 1970 D penny error that could also be worth a fortune? I'll reveal it in just a moment. First, let's talk about how to safely sell these coins for the highest price possible. When it comes to selling, timing and platform matter. Auctions like heritage auctions or even platforms like eBay are great for attracting high-paying collectors. But be cautious: if you're not careful, you could end up underselling. And no one wants to leave money on the table. Now, it's your turn. Check your change jars, search your drawers, and inspect every 1970 D penny you can find. The next $1 million coin might be hiding in your pocket right now. Don't wait, because collectors are actively hunting for these coins as we speak. Are you sitting on a tiny piece of copper that could be worth over $2.3 million? Yes, you heard that right. A single 1972 Lincoln penny with no mint mark could completely change your life. Most people pass these coins off as worthless pocket change, but what if yours is a hidden treasure? Stay with me, because in the next 10 minutes, we'll uncover what makes this coin so valuable, how you can identify it, and most importantly, how you can sell it for life-changing money. But first, let me ask, when was the last time you actually looked at your pennies? Be honest. For most of us, they're just that annoying spare change cluttering up our wallets. But by the end of this video, you might be digging through every drawer and couch cushion in your house. Let's rewind for a second. Why is this penny so special? And why are collectors willing to pay millions for it? The story of the 1972 no-mint mark penny begins with a surprising twist. You see, in the early 1970s, the US Mint was struggling to keep up with demand for coins. Mistakes happened. Some pennies were struck with double die errors, creating a rare and highly coveted design flaw. Even rarer. A 1972 penny with no mint mark. Only a handful of these coins were ever produced, and even fewer have survived in pristine condition. That's why collectors will pay insane amounts to own one. But here's the scary part: most people don't even know they have one. These pennies are hiding in plain sight, mixed in with common coins. The thought of accidentally spending one on a cup of coffee? Terrifying, isn't it? Now, let's talk money. A standard 1972 penny is worth, well, a penny. But a 1972 no-mint mark penny in near-perfect condition? The highest recorded sale was a jaw-dropping $2.3 million. Yes, you heard that right, $2.3 million. Imagine holding a penny that could pay off your mortgage, fund your dream vacation, or even let you retire early. And no, before you ask, it's not made of gold. It's just plain old copper, about 3.11 grams of it. Isn't it ironic? The one penny most people overlook could be worth more than your car, your house, and maybe even your entire savings account. So how do you know if your penny is the one collectors are hunting for? Let's break it down. First, check the year. It must say 1972. Then, flip the coin and look for the absence of a mint mark below the year. That's your first clue. But here's the kicker, just having no mint mark isn't enough. Under magnification, you'll want to look for a clear double die error. This means parts of the text, like Liberty or In God We Trust, appear slightly doubled. If you spot this, your heart should already be racing, because you've got something incredibly rare. But here's where most people mess up, they don't know how to get their coins professionally graded or where to sell them for top dollar. Without the right steps, you could be leaving thousands, or even millions, on the table. Don't worry. I've got you covered. Here's what you need to do next. Take your coin to a reputable grading service like PCGS or NGC. Once authenticated, you can list it at major auction houses or online marketplaces where collectors flock to buy these rare gems, but time is of the essence. Every day you wait, your coin is exposed to damage that could lower its value. Imagine this, in just a few weeks, you could be holding a check for hundreds of thousands, or even millions, of dollars. And all it took was a little curiosity and a penny you almost overlooked. So, are you ready to dig through your change jar and see if you've been sitting on a fortune this whole time? Don't wait, your 1972 no mint mark penny might just be the key to a wealthier life. What if I told you that a single penny sitting in your pocket could be worth up to $2 million? Sounds unbelievable, right? But let me ask you this, do you know how to tell if your 1982 Lincoln penny is worth a fortune or just, well, 1 cent? Stay tuned, because by the end of this video, you'll know exactly how to spot the difference, and you might just uncover a hidden treasure in your change jar. But don't wait too long, time and opportunity don't stand still, and neither should you. Before we dive in, quick question, if you found out your penny was worth $2 million, what's the first thing you'd do? Buy a yacht? Pay off the house? Or finally stop ignoring those Caribbean cruise ads? Let me know in the comments. Now, let's crack the mystery of the 1982 Lincoln penny. Here's the thing, 1982 was a very unique year for Lincoln pennies. It marked a major transition in how these coins were made. The U.S. Mint switched from using primarily copper to a much cheaper zinc core due to rising costs. That means two types of pennies were produced, copper and zinc. Why does this matter? Well, a few copper pennies slipped through production when they weren't supposed to. These coins are the rare treasures collectors are willing to pay millions to own, but here's the scary part, most people don't even realize they've got one of these coins. Imagine selling a jar of pennies at a garage sale, only to find out you just gave away a $2 million fortune for a couple of bucks. That's the stuff of nightmares, right? So, how can you tell if you have the legendary 1982 copper penny? First, grab a magnet. Yes, a simple kitchen magnet. Copper pennies won't stick to it, while zinc ones will. Easy enough, but there's more. You'll also need to weigh your penny. A genuine 1982 copper penny weighs 3.1 grams, while the zinc version weighs only 2.5 grams. Don't have a scale that precise? Don't worry, I'll show you an affordable option in just a moment. And let me tell you, one specific variety of the 1982 penny is even rarer than the others. I'll reveal which one it is in just a minute, but first, let's talk about why collectors are willing to pay millions for these coins. Why do collectors go crazy over the 1982 copper penny? It's simple, rarity. With only a handful of these coins known to exist, owning one is like holding a piece of history. And when demand meets scarcity, the value skyrockets. But here's the kicker, these coins don't stay hidden forever. Once a certain number are discovered, the value could start to decline. That's why it's critical to act now. You don't want to miss your chance, and let's be honest, don't you want to be the person bragging at Thanksgiving dinner? Oh, you're thankful for a new job. Cool. I found a penny and bought a mansion. Now, about that rare variety, the 1982 small date copper penny. If your coin has a small date design and weighs 3.1 grams, you could be sitting on a life-changing fortune. But remember, the devil's in the details, so always get your coin authenticated by a trusted expert before celebrating. Don't let your valuable penny gather dust or, heaven forbid, get spent on a candy bar. If you think you've got a rare 1982 penny, get it appraised. And if you don't, it's time to start checking your change jars, garage sales, and even vending machines. You never know when luck will strike. By the way, do you know the second most valuable penny in US history? Let's just say, if you thought $2 million was impressive, you're not ready for what's next. Be sure to hit that subscribe button, so you don't miss out on our next video revealing even more treasures hiding in plain sight. Remember, one coin can change your life. Will it be yours? Alright, picture this, you're cleaning out your grandparents' attic, sifting through dusty boxes, and there it is, a shiny, old coin. Your heart skips a beat. Could this be it? The legendary 1794 flowing hair silver dollar? Spoiler alert, if it is, you might want to sit down because this coin is worth a jaw-dropping $12 million today. Yep, you heard that right, $12 million for a single coin. So, what's the deal with this little piece of metal? Let's break it down. First off, the 1794 flowing hair silver dollar isn't just any old coin. This baby is the first silver dollar ever minted by the United States. Think of it as the OG of American currency. Minted in, you guessed it, 1794, it was part of a small batch of just 1,758 coins. That's like a limited edition sneaker drop, but for money nerds. And here's the kicker, most of those coins are long gone. Only about 140 are known to exist today, and just a handful are in mint condition. Now, let me tell you why this coin is so valuable. It's not just about its rarity, although that helps. It's also about its historical significance. This was America's way of flexing on the rest of the world, saying, hey, we've got our own money now. The design is pure art too. The flowing hair symbolizes liberty, and let's be honest, she's rocking some serious 18th century vibes, but let's get real, most of us aren't finding one of these coins just lying around. I mean, if I had $1 for every time I dreamed about finding one, I'd still only have, well, $1. True story, I once thought I'd struck gold, or silver, in this case, at a garage sale. The guy was selling an old coin for $50. My heart was racing. Turns out, it was a replica. Moral of the story? Always know what you're looking at before you buy. Back to the flowing hair silver dollar. In 2013, one of these coins sold for a record-breaking $10 million. Fast forward to today, and the market value has climbed to an eye-popping $12 million. Why? Because collectors and investors see it as a piece of American history they can actually hold in their hands. It's like owning a time machine, but way cooler. So, what's the takeaway here? If you're into coin collecting, start paying attention to those old silver dollars. Even if you don't stumble upon a $12 million treasure, there are plenty of other valuable coins out there waiting to be discovered. And hey, if you're like me and love a good treasure hunt, coin collecting is a fun, and potentially lucrative, hobby. Before you go, let me ask you this, what would you do if you found a 1794 flowing hair silver dollar? Let me know in the comments because I'm dying to hear your answers. You're rummaging through your grandpa's old coin collection, and bam, you stumble across a coin so rare and valuable, it could literally pay for your dream house, a luxury yacht, and maybe even a tiny island. That coin. The legendary 1804 draped bust silver dollar. With a jaw-dropping market value of $7.8 million, this coin isn't just rare, it's the Beyoncé of coins. Stick around, because today, we're diving into why this little hunk of silver is worth more than most people's life savings. Oh, and I've got a fun story about a near miss that might make you cry laugh by the end. Let's get started. Alright, so what makes the 1804 draped bust silver dollar so special? First, let's clear up a big misconception: these coins weren't actually minted in 1804. Plot twist. The U.S. Mint produced them in the 1830s as diplomatic gifts. Talk about late to the party, right? Only 15 of these coins are known to exist today, split into 3 classes. The most famous one. The Sultan of Muscat example. It sold for, you guessed it, $7.8 million. That's not just pocket change, that's pocket mansion money. Now, let's talk design. The coin features Lady Liberty with her hair flowing like she's in a shampoo commercial, and the reverse has an eagle clutching arrows and an olive branch. It's the coin version of, I can be classy, but don't mess with me. What's the catch? You're not going to find this coin lying around in a flea market or tucked under grandma's couch cushions. Sorry to crush your dreams. But there's a lesson here: always double-check those dusty coin jars. Which brings me to a story about yours truly. A few years back, I was helping a friend sort through their late uncle's coin collection. We came across this worn-out silver dollar, and for a second, I thought we'd hit the jackpot. My heart was racing. Is this it? Spoiler alert, it was a 1921 Morgan dollar. Worth about $30. Not bad, but let's just say my dreams of early retirement were crushed in seconds. Moral of the story: knowing what to look for can save you from heartbreak. Why $7.8 million? It's all about rarity and demand. Wealthy collectors treat these coins like fine art, status symbols that you can actually hold in your hand. Plus, with so few in existence, every time one comes up for auction, it sets off a bidding war. It's like Black Friday shopping but for millionaires. So, what's the takeaway here? Even if you don't have an 1804 draped bust silver dollar hiding in your sock drawer, you could still have some hidden gems in your collection. Rare coins are out there, you just have to know how to spot them. If you're ready to learn more about coins that could make you rich, or at least cover your next vacation, hit that subscribe button. I post weekly videos about coins worth money, with tips to turn your hobby into a serious moneymaker. And hey, don't forget to drop a comment below. What's the coolest coin you've ever found? I'd love to hear your stories. You're cleaning out your grandpa's dusty attic, and bam, you stumble across a coin that could pay off your mortgage, your car, and maybe even your neighbor's too. Sounds too good to be true. Well, not if you find this coin, the 1885 trade dollar proof. This shiny little masterpiece isn't just a collector's dream, it's worth a jaw-dropping $3.96 million. That's right, million. So, grab a cup of coffee and stick around, because today, I'm spilling the tea on why this coin is worth more than a yacht and how you can spot one if you're lucky. Alright, let's dive in. The 1885 trade dollar is like the unicorn of US coins. Only 5 were ever minted. Yup, just 5. That's rarer than finding matching socks in your laundry basket. These coins were struck as proofs, which basically means they were made with extra care to impress collectors and officials. Think of it as the VIP section of coin production. Now, you're probably wondering, why is it worth almost $4 million? First, it's all about rarity. When something's this scarce, it's like waving a red flag in front of wealthy collectors. They want it. Second, the craftsmanship on this coin is next level. The design features Lady Liberty chilling on a rock, holding an olive branch, like she's saying, yeah, peace is cool, but so is making bank. The reverse shows an eagle clutching arrows and an olive branch. Classic, right? Here's the kicker: most people have never even seen one of these coins in real life. In fact, one of the 5 1885 trade dollars is privately owned and hasn't been seen in decades. It's like the Bigfoot of coins, except it's real, and it costs a fortune. And here's a fun fact: back in the day, trade dollars were actually made for commerce in Asia. Yep, they were like the Venmo of the 1800s. But by 1885, they'd already stopped regular production, which makes this proof coin even more of a mystery. Who made it? Why? We may never know. Let me tell you a quick story. A few years ago, I was rummaging through an old flea market. Don't judge, I love a good bargain, and I saw a box of coins. My heart skipped a beat. Could this be my $1,000,000 moment? Spoiler, it wasn't. I ended up with a rusty quarter that I still keep as a reminder that the hunt is half the fun. But hey, if you find an 1885 trade dollar, you could end up on the cover of Coin World magazine, or at least with a hefty check from an auction house. So, what's the takeaway here? Always check your coins before spending them or tossing them into a jar. That old change rattling around your house could literally change your life. And if you ever come across an 1885 trade dollar, well, let's just say dinner's on you. If you enjoyed geeking out over rare coins today, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell. I've got more tips and strategies coming your way to help you uncover coins worth serious cash. Have you ever wished you could turn loose change into life-changing money? Well, today we're diving into the glittering world of one of the rarest and most valuable coins out there, the 1893 Morgan silver dollar. And guess what? This little piece of silver just set the market on fire with a jaw-dropping value of $2.086 million. That's not just pocket change, that's private island money. So, stick around because we're going to talk about why this coin is worth so much, how it ended up being a millionaire maker, and how you can start your own coin hunting journey. Who knows? Maybe the next millionaire could be you. Alright, let's start with some basics. The Morgan silver dollar was minted from 1878 to 1904 and then again in 1921. The 1893 minted in San Francisco, is the holy grail of Morgans. Why? 2 words, low mintage. Only about 100,000 of these beauties were struck, and fewer than 10% are thought to still exist today. Now, let me paint a picture for you. Imagine walking into an antique shop, scanning the dusty shelves, and spotting a small box labeled Old Coins. You open it up, and there it is, an 1893 Morgan silver dollar, winking at you like it knows it's about to change your life. Sounds like a dream, right? Well, here's a little story. Back when I first got into coin collecting, I stumbled upon an old coin jar in my grandma's attic. I didn't find an 1893 but I did find a 1943 steel penny that got me hooked. It was like finding a little piece of history and realizing that history could actually pay your bills. So, what makes the 1893 worth over $2 million? First, condition is everything. The coin that fetched $2.086 million was in pristine mint state. That's like finding a 100-year-old wedding dress without a single wrinkle. Most surviving 1893 Morgans are heavily worn because they were in circulation for decades, and let's not forget the demand. Collectors love the challenge of completing a Morgan silver dollar set. The 1893 is like the final puzzle piece that nobody has, except for a lucky few. Finding one of these is rarer than getting all green lights on your morning commute. And let's be honest, even if you did find one, would you really trust yourself to hold on to it without dropping it? I'd probably wrap it in bubble wrap and carry it like a newborn baby. If you're now itching to search through every coin you've ever seen, here's a tip. Check the reverse side of the coin under the eagle. If you see a little S mint mark, you're halfway there. Just don't get too excited yet, make sure it's dated 1893 and have it authenticated by a professional. Counterfeits are out there, and they're sneaky. So, what's the takeaway? The 1893 Morgan silver dollar isn't just a coin, it's a ticket to financial freedom, for the lucky few who find it. But even if you don't stumble upon this $1,000,000 treasure, there's still a whole world of valuable coins out there waiting to be discovered. What if I told you there's a tiny piece of history that's worth over $1 million? Yes, I'm talking about the 1795 flowing hair dollar with 3 leaves, a coin that could literally buy you a mansion today. Crazy, right? It's not just any coin, this little silver beauty is a time machine to the birth of the United States. Stick around because we're about to dive into why this coin is so valuable, how much it's worth now, and a little story about how I almost fainted holding a coin I thought was this rare gem. Spoiler alert, it wasn't. Okay, so first, a little history lesson, but I promise, it's the fun kind. Back in 1795, George Washington was probably sipping tea while this coin was being minted. It was one of the first silver dollars ever made in the US, designed to show off the young nation's pride. The flowing hair design is iconic. It represents liberty, literally letting her hair down, because hey, even liberty needs a casual Friday. Now, the 3 leaves part. That's about the number of leaves on the eagle's branch on the back. Sounds minor, but in the coin world, details like that are everything. Think of it like having a limited edition pair of sneakers, except these sneakers are 229 years old and worth $1.265 million. Yeah, let that sink in. So, why is this coin so valuable? First, it's rare. Only a handful exist in good condition, and collectors will do just about anything to get their hands on one. Second, it's historically significant. This isn't just a coin, it's a piece of American history you can hold in your hand. Lastly, the condition. Coin nerds, experts, use something called the Sheldon scale to grade coins. A flowing hair dollar in pristine condition. Jackpot. Speaking of jackpots, let me tell you about the time I thought I hit one. A few years ago, I was at a flea market, cue dramatic music, and I saw this old silver coin sitting in a dusty box labeled Grandpa's Junk. My heart stopped. It looked just like a flowing hair dollar. I was already planning my victory lap around the market. Bought it for $5, took it home, did some research, and it was fake. But hey, you win some, you lose some. And now I triple check everything before I get excited. Lesson learned. Back to the real deal. If you somehow stumble across one of these coins, congratulations. You've basically won the lottery. The current market value for a 1795 flowing hair dollar, 3 leaves, is $1.265 million. But if it's in near perfect condition, it could sell for even more at auction. So, next time you're cleaning out your attic, don't skip the old coin jar. That dusty quarter might just be your golden ticket, or silver ticket, in this case. So, what's the moral of the story? Coins aren't just spare change, they're treasures waiting to be discovered. The 1795 flowing hair dollar is proof that even the smallest things can hold massive value. Let me ask you this, what if I told you a single coin could be worth more than a mansion in Beverly Hills? Yep, today we're diving into the story of the 1866 seeded Liberty Dollar, no motto, proof, a shiny piece of history valued at a jaw-dropping $1.207 million. That's not just pocket change, that's life-changing change. Stick around, and I'll share the secrets behind this rare beauty, its history, and how you might just stumble upon something extraordinary in your own collection. Alright, let's talk about the 1866 seeded Liberty Dollar. This isn't just any old coin, it's the celebrity of the coin world. Picture this, it's 1866, the Civil War just ended, Lincoln's assassination is still fresh in the nation's memory, and the country's getting back on its feet. Meanwhile, at the US Mint, someone decides to make this incredible seeded Liberty Dollar without the usual, "In God We Trust" motto. Why no motto? Well, here's where it gets interesting. Congress had passed a law mandating the addition of the motto on all coins, but this proof coin somehow skipped that step. Think of it as a rare, oops moment, kind of like when you accidentally send a text to the wrong person, except this mistake is worth over $1 million. Now, this wasn't a coin you'd find jangling around in someone's pocket. Proof coins were struck specifically for collectors and VIPs. Only 2 of these coins are known to exist today. 2. That's rarer than finding a parking spot downtown on a Friday night. Let's get to the juicy part. How much is this bad boy worth? Drumroll, please, $1.207 million. That's what it sold for at auction. And let me tell you, when this coin hit the auction block, it wasn't just a sale, it was a show. Collectors flew in from all over, paddles were flying, and someone with very deep pockets walked away with this piece of American history. Now, I know what you're thinking, okay, that's cool, but how does this apply to me? Let me share a quick story. A few years ago, I helped a buddy go through a box of old coins his grandpa left behind. Most of it was stuff you'd expect, pennies, nickels, maybe a few silver dimes. But then, tucked in a dusty corner, was a coin that caught my eye. It wasn't worth millions, but it was a rare wheat penny worth a few $1,000s. He had no idea, the point. You might be sitting on a treasure without even realizing it. So, if you've got an old box of coins, don't let it collect dust. Get in there and start digging. Who knows? Maybe you'll find the next seated Liberty dollar. Before we wrap up, let me leave you with this thought. Coins like the 1866 seated Liberty dollar aren't just valuable because of their price tags, they're windows into history. They tell stories of the people, the politics, and the culture of their time. So, whether you're a seasoned collector or just someone curious about what's jingling in their piggy bank, there's always something fascinating to discover. Imagine rummaging through an old box in your attic and pulling out a coin worth over $1 million. No, this isn't a dream, it's the story of the 1796 draped bust dollar, a shiny slice of history currently valued at a jaw-dropping $1.175 million. That's right, folks, this humble hunk of silver is worth more than a mansion. Stick around, because today we're diving into why this coin is the Beyoncé of the numismatic world. Trust me, you don't want to miss this. Alright, let's get into it. First off, what makes the 1796 draped bust dollar so special? Well, this beauty was minted during the early days of the United States, back when George Washington wasn't just on the quarter, he was practically running the show. The design. Oh, it's stunning. Lady Liberty on the front looks like she just walked out of a Renaissance painting, and the reverse features a small eagle perched on a cloud, like it's about to drop the hottest mixtape of 1796. Now, here's the kicker, this coin wasn't exactly mass-produced. Only around 79,000 of these were minted, and even fewer have survived the test of time. Think about it, back then, people actually used these coins to buy stuff. Imagine spending one of these on a loaf of bread. Painful, right? Today, most of the surviving 1796 draped bust dollars are tucked away in collections, leaving just a handful in top condition. So, why the sky-high price tag? It all boils down to rarity, condition, and a sprinkle of collector obsession. One pristine 1796 draped bust dollar recently sold for $1.175 million at auction. That's like buying 1 million McDoubles, or one very fancy McDouble with a golden wrapper. Here's where it gets personal. A couple of years ago, I stumbled across an old coin collection my grandfather left behind. No draped bust dollar, unfortunately, but I did find a 1943 steel penny. My heart raced. Could this be the holy grail of pennies? Turns out, it was worth about $1. Lesson learned, not every old coin is a jackpot, but the thrill of the hunt. Priceless. And speaking of hunting, if you think your chances of finding a draped bust dollar are zero, think again. Estate sales, flea markets, and even eBay can sometimes hold hidden gems. Just make sure you're not buying a fake, those scammers are out there, and they've gotten pretty crafty. Pro tip, always get your coins authenticated by a trusted expert. So, there you have it, the 1796 draped bust dollar, a piece of American history, a collector's dream, and, for some lucky owner, a one-way ticket to early retirement. Whether you're a seasoned numismatist or just coin-curious, the world of rare coins is full of surprises. Ugh, for a luxury vacation? Sounds crazy, right? But the 1795 draped bust dollar is no ordinary coin. One of these beauties recently sold for a jaw-dropping $1.057 million. Yep, $1 million for something that fits in your pocket. Stick around, and I'll tell you why this coin is so valuable, how to recognize it, and even sprinkle in a few tips in case one is hiding in your attic. Plus, I'll share a little story about how I almost mistook a valuable coin for a piece of junk. Oops. Let's dive in. it's 1795. George Washington is still around, the US is barely finding its footing, and someone decides our coins need a glow-up. Enter the draped bust design. The obverse, that's coins speak for the front, features Lady Liberty with flowing hair, a classic symbol of freedom. The reverse has an eagle surrounded by a wreath, but here's the kicker, these coins weren't exactly mass-produced. The US Mint struck only about 42,000 of them, and fewer than 2,000 are believed to have survived. Add 230 years of wear and tear, and you've got a scarcity jackpot. The $1 million coin in question wasn't just any old draped bust dollar. It was in pristine condition, graded MS-65 by coin experts. To put that in perspective, if coins were graded like school tests, this one got an A+. And let's face it, how often do 1795 coins show up without scratches, dirt, or signs of wear? The coin also had what collectors call original mint luster. That's a fancy way of saying it looked as shiny as the day it was minted. Combine rarity, history, and condition, and boom, you've got a $1 million masterpiece. Quick story time. A few years ago, I inherited a box of random coins from a relative. I wasn't into coin collecting back then, so I shoved it in a closet and forgot about it. Fast forward to one boring Saturday, I'm cleaning out that same closet, and there it was, a dusty old box. Inside, I found coins from the 1800s, some foreign ones, and what I thought was a silver dollar. My heart raced. Could it be a draped bust dollar? Turns out, it was a common coin from 1921. Still cool, but not exactly mortgage-paying cool. Lesson learned, always check your coins before tossing them aside. Okay, don't go ripping apart your couch cushions just yet. The odds of finding a draped bust dollar are slim, but not impossible. Here's what to look for: Lady Liberty with flowing hair on the front, an eagle on the back. It's a hefty coin made of silver, so it should feel solid. If you think you've got one, don't clean it. That can destroy its value. Instead, take it to a reputable coin dealer or grading service. So, what's the takeaway? Coins like the 1795 draped bust dollar aren't just money, they're tiny pieces of history that could change your life. Even if you don't have a $1 million coin, the thrill of the hunt is half the fun. Now, here's your homework. Go check those coin jars, that old jewelry box, or your grandparents' attic. Who knows? You might stumble on something valuable. Bam, suddenly you're holding a piece of history worth $1 million. Now, I know that sounds like the plot of a movie, but trust me, it's real. We're talking about the 1803 draped bust silver dollar, and today, I'm going to show you why this little silver disc could be worth more than your car, your house, and possibly your retirement savings all rolled into one. So grab your magnifying glass, settle in, and let's dive into the world of rare coins. You're about to learn why you should start looking at your spare change a little more closely. Seriously, it's more than just pennies and nickels in there. Stay tuned, you won't want to miss this. Alright, let's kick things off with some history, because, you know, no good treasure story starts without a bit of drama from the past. The 1803 draped bust silver dollar was minted right at the turn of the 19th century, which means it's over 200 years old. Can you believe that? It's practically a time traveler. This coin was created during President Thomas Jefferson's administration, and it's got that iconic, draped bust, design by artist Robert Scott. It's a classic look with Liberty's flowing hair, wearing a cap. But hey, if you think you've seen this coin before, you might be thinking of the more common 1801 or 1802 versions, which are far more abundant. Now, here's where it gets wild. The 1803 version is considered one of the rarer types, especially the high-grade ones, which are the ones that get auctioned for massive amounts of money. We're talking $1 million for a pristine, well-preserved 1803 draped bust silver dollar. Why? Because there are so few of them in good condition. So when one pops up in an auction, collectors go crazy, and trust me, I get it. When I first started collecting coins, I had no idea what I was holding in my hands. I remember sifting through my granddad's old coin jar, thinking I was a genius because I found a few coins that looked older than the ones at the grocery store. I pulled out this old silver coin from 1920-something and thought I was about to retire. Turns out it was just an old mercury dime worth a couple bucks. But hey, it was a start. Back to the 1803 draped bust. The real magic happens when you're talking about coins in uncirculated or extremely fine condition. Those coins. They are rarer than finding a unicorn in your backyard. To get one that's in top-notch shape, you have to look at things like the surface quality, the sharpness of the details, and the overall look. If a coin has too much wear and tear, bye-bye $1,000,000 price tag. A coin with a high-grade, sharp detail and minimal wear can bring in a jaw-dropping price at auction. So, how do you tell if you've got an 1803 draped bust silver dollar worth $1,000,000? Well, it all comes down to the condition of the coin, the markings, and of course, whether it's one of the rarer varieties. There's even a small chance you could find a coin with an overdate, where the 3 was stamped over a 2, making it extra valuable. A small detail like that can increase the value by tens or even hundreds of thousands of dollars. Now, let's talk about the market for rare coins. It's wild. Investors are snapping up high-grade 1803 draped bust silver dollars as if they're the last slice of pizza at a party. The market is strong, and if you're lucky enough to find one of these, you could turn a few $100 into, well, a $1,000,000 payday. But let me be clear, this isn't just about luck, it's about knowing what to look for, and that's where I come in. Alright, let's wrap this up. If you've got an old silver dollar lying around, or you're just getting started with coin collecting, now's the time to do some research. You never know, your next great find could be the 1803 draped bust silver dollar, just waiting for its moment to shine. So, what's the moral of the story? Always keep your eyes peeled when you're going through old coins, because one of them could be worth more than you ever imagined. And, of course, don't forget the key takeaway: condition, condition, condition. Before you go, if you want more tips on valuable coins, insider strategies for finding hidden treasures, and the latest updates on the world of numismatics, hit that subscribe button and join the family. I've got more coin secrets to share, and I promise, next time, you could be holding the next big winner. This is the one that's going to make me rich. Well, grab your magnifying glass and hold on to your seats, because today we're talking about a coin that could do just that, the 1870s seated Liberty silver dollar. Yep, you heard me right, this coin is worth a small fortune, and I'm not talking about pocket change. We're talking $1.92 million. So, buckle up, because today, we're diving deep into the history and value of this rare beauty, and trust me, you're going to want to stick around for this. First off, let's get one thing straight: not every coin with a date on it is going to make you a millionaire. But the 1870s seated Liberty silver dollar? Well, that's a different story. This coin is rarer than a unicorn riding a shooting star. There were only a handful minted, which makes it one of the rarest coins on the market today. Here's the kicker: it was originally made to circulate in the mid-1800s, but not many people kept them around. So, as you can imagine, finding one in good condition today is like finding a needle in a haystack, but a really valuable needle. Now, let me tell you how this coin got its fame. Back in 1870, the U.S. Mint was having a little trouble with their coin-making process. The plan was to create seated Liberty dollars, and they were supposed to be minted in Philly, but somehow, just a few made it to the San Francisco Mint. And that's where the magic happened. Of those few, only a tiny fraction of them survived to this day. So, if you've got one of these babies tucked away in your collection, well, let's just say you've got a gold mine, or should I say a silver mine. Now, let's talk about why this coin is worth so much. The 1870s isn't just any old silver dollar. It's like the rarest pair of sneakers, the ultimate collector's item. We're talking about a coin that, if you find it in pristine condition, can fetch over $1.92 million. Seriously, you could retire off one of these. It's basically the lottery ticket of the coin world. And I know what you're thinking: how do I even know if I've got one of these bad boys? Well, first off, check the mint mark. The 1870s has an S mint mark, that's your golden ticket. Then, take a good look at the condition. The better it's preserved, the more it's worth. And hey, if it's been sitting in an old coin jar for decades, you might be sitting on a small fortune, and if you're anything like me, you've probably got some old coins laying around, just chilling in your collection or in a drawer somewhere. I'll be honest with you, the other day I was digging through my coin stash, thinking I had a bunch of regular coins, until I found one that looked just like an 1870s seated Liberty. I got my hopes up, and for about 5 minutes, I felt like a millionaire. Unfortunately, it turned out to be just a very convincing replica. Talk about a letdown, right? So, make sure you double-check your coins carefully, because sometimes, looks can be deceiving, but hey, if you find that 1870s seated Liberty silver dollar, you're in the money, my friend. So, next time you're at a coin shop or rummaging through your coin jar, just remember, this coin could be worth enough to send you on a vacation or even buy you that dream car you've always wanted. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the 1870s seated Liberty and you want more tips on rare coins that could make you a millionaire, then hit that subscribe button. And trust me, you won't want to miss the next video where we talk about other coins that are just waiting to make your bank account smile. Until next time, keep hunting for those treasures, and who knows? Maybe you'll be the next coin collector to hit the jackpot. If you're ready to find more coins worth a fortune, make sure to like, subscribe, and share this video with anyone who needs a little coin collecting inspiration. Stay tuned, because I've got plenty more where this came from.